absolutely succeeded. Just looking at that there, they are now 2 points behind Chelsea after that victory and just 3 behind their crosstown rivals Liverpool. It's certainly heated. It's certainly a huge result for Everton, but big disappointment, Glenn, for Chelsea.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I'd be concerned actually with that performance. I've got to say, from start to finish, I thought at half-time they'd come out a different team and play a lot better, and they actually probably got worse. But you can't take any credit away from Everton. Everton, in every department of the game, defending, with the ball, organisation, individually, were better in every department than Chelsea today, and they deserve that win by far. Pickford did his job as well. Let's be fair, he had 4 or 5 really good saves to make. It wasn't as if Chelsea were completely out of the game. But no, all in all, it was a very poor performance from Chelsea, and they've got to look within themselves now. For them to actually get a Champions League spot, it's going to take a hell of a mental battle for the next couple of games. I think they've got the 2 Manchester teams now, so that's not going to be easy. But Everton were excellent today, they really were.
A day to remember for Everton, plenty of history being made. First back-to-back wins in the Premier League at Hill Dickinson Stadium, and their biggest win over Chelsea in the Premier League era.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? A very, very good evening's football for David Moyes and for Everton. They dominated in every aspect. I think it has been quite difficult moving stadiums after such history at Goodison Park, but with the way the club play, with the football David Moyes and Evertonians desire, it was as inevitable that it would finally start to fall into place. And over these last 2 games, I think Everton have been able to show the intensity right from the first whistle, which maybe caught Chelsea out. We might, as Glenn, say it was sloppy from Chelsea. Yes, maybe, but Everton made them be sloppy. Everton forced issues. Everton played in Chelsea's half. They were good in possession of the ball, which hasn't always been the case at home in the Premier League. They've been much better away. But tonight, Everton went well. I thought the midfield trio in particular were incredible. I thought they bossed the game right from the first whistle to the last, and David Moyes' tactics worked out tremendously.
And the quality of the finishing that we saw today from Beto, his double, and then Iliman Ndiaye with probably the pick of the lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Beto's run and finish for the first goal was very good. Good finish, he'll say, for the second goal. But when you've got someone like Iliman Ndiaye that can pick up the ball in dangerous areas, he was another star performer again, James Garner. But if the likes of Garner can supply Iliman Ndiaye with the ball.
James, Beto, first of all, James, that was pretty impressive out there. The cackle, it kind of reminded you of Goodison Park of days gone by.
Yeah, no, that was the best I've seen it, and to top it off with a win, amazing. And
what about this guy, Beto?
Yeah, no, since he's come back in the team, he's shown, goals and all the stuff that he does off the ball, and today, 2 goals and 1 assist, yeah, top.
And you got an assist as well before I start talking to him.
No, it's something that he goes on about every single day for these type of passes, and I should do more, and I'm glad that he put it in the back of the net for me today.
Well, he laid that one on quite nicely for you for the first, but I remember you scoring your first goal for Everton, and it had been an emotional journey. But look at you now, you're almost cult hero status here.
Nah, I don't think that I'm hero, but I feel like I'm home. Playing for Everton is something unbelievable, and you just want to give your all and help the team with the goals, assists, good performances, anything. So I'm really happy.
But what about this spirit? Because it was there for everyone to see out there tonight.
No, today it was a must-win game for us, and since we came out of the hotel, the fans were outside shouting. They knew they were feeling like we need to win this game. So we did a great performance, 3 goals, clean sheet, and we are happy.
And also back-to-back wins at home.
Yeah, I didn't even realise that. Yeah, no, it was something that we needed to sort out. Our form here hasn't been too good, but like what you just said then, back-to-back wins, so may longer.
Very, very quickly, how's your week been, the last 24 hours? Did you get a little call beforehand to let you know you were in the thinking?
I did, yeah. I'm so happy, I'm over the moon, it's a dream. So he rang me and said that I'll be involved, and it's been a bit of a crazy weekend. To top it off with a win is even better.
Well, you got your win, you got your Illing call-up. You didn't get player of the match because that goes to your main man right next to you. What do you want to say?
I want to say congratulations, brother, you deserve it, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you for the assist. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother.
So Beto at the double, Ghana into the England team. And the numbers that we're just hearing, 6 Premier League assists for the season. He had 4 in his entire Premier League career before that. Remarkable.
Yeah, like I've been one of his biggest fans. Certainly this season, certainly trying to let everybody know the form he's in and that he should be getting a call up for the national team. He's been playing. What you've seen tonight, he's been doing that consistently all season long. I think when you first break into a team, you will have games where you're outstanding, but as a young man, as you're developing, you'll go up and down with your performances. His levels have been of the highest quality consistently all season now, and that's why Thomas Tuchel's included him in the England squad, because of performances like that. He never lets the team down. He is consistently defending well. He gets about the pitch. He sets an example for everyone else, but he's also added numbers. He's added game-defining moments to his performances, like he did for that first goal. The way to pass was just outstanding, Glenn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And it's hard to get that ball in because it's not on an angle. It's a straight run-ish on a straight ball. They're the ones that are really difficult. Yeah, he gets a little bit of time, but his first touch there takes him forward. Now, that ball there has to be perfect. It's also so good that it sucked the keeper out. Sanchez thinks he can get there as well. It's exquisite ball. I mean, we can look at what Chelsea didn't do and the space that they've given it, but I'd rather look at the creativity. Yeah, they were poor all day with the way they defended Chelsea. But this ball here, this movement from Beto is top-notch. He's drawn him in and suddenly he's off, and he's just hoping that his midfield partner can actually find him, because he got goal side of Fofana. And the finish is beautiful.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's a terrific finish. He uses the ball, adds a bit of spin, just guides it over the goalkeeper and makes sure he gets out of the way of a good clattering. But it was just interesting to hear them talking that Beto's been demanding more of those passes from the likes of James Garner. It's where Beto is at his best. He's not the best holding the ball up, bringing other people into play. Where he is good is using his physicality, bullying centre-halves like he did this evening, and making runs through towards the opposition's goal. And if you've got people behind, like Dewsbury Hall and James Garner, showing that they've got that capability with the passing range today, then Beto gets chances, and he looked like a really good centre-forward tonight.
That's what you have with a striker and a midfield player that can hit passes and hurt you and hit you in there. And that was a pass that took the whole team out with one pass. And that's the thing that they'll work on that now in training, and they'll do things where in games it'll be instinctively, he'll know that he can put a ball in there, so he'll make even more movement, and that's how you elevate yourself as a midfield player and a striker. You get that little feel for them, don't you? And yeah, every team's got that sort of partnership. Back in the day, Steven Gerrard and Michael Owen, they had it in abundance. You know, you can go through lots of different teams like that, but they have got something now to really grasp and grow as a couple, a midfield player and a striker.
So it was 1-0, and that's the goal that separated the two teams at half-time. We expected an improved second half from Chelsea, but those defensive mistakes once again caught them out. Perhaps Robert Sanchez more guilty than anyone here. Let's look at how Everton win the ball back.
But it's sloppy play again from Santos. He passes the ball in between two players in space. Everton, great. They nick the ball, they pinch it. Beto's confident. He makes a lovely little blindside run. They get a bit of good fortune off Sanchez. But we've highlighted here, there's the sloppy pass. That's a real poor pass. And it's not just Santos. Chelsea players have been doing it all day. But what we do here, we don't understand where Fofana. Look, we've just stopped it there. There's the run from Beto. Now, he's got to track him on a parallel run. If he does that, he gets a block in, or he doesn't get his shot, Beto. For whatever reason, Fofana stops and hesitates. And we see it from behind the goal, Oz.
Yeah, it was a strange decision. Once he'd committed to drop a couple of yards on Beto, he had to complete it. He can't then decide to stop, because you saw Beto had to wait for the ball. Beto had actually made his run probably a second too early, and he had to wait for the ball to catch up with him. If that's the case at the top end of the field, top-class defenders will deny you an opportunity, because 1 second makes a huge difference at this level in the Premier League especially. And Fofana allowed him a second to just compose himself, let the ball catch up to him and get a shot. It's tough that the ball went through the goalkeeper's legs. Sometimes, as we were saying, they'll go in your favour, they won't. But the defending from Chelsea and the sloppiness in possession was really surprising.
It's not by chance. We analysed it at half-time. Fofana, in the first couple of minutes, give a ball away. Then he goes past the ball, and really, Everton might have scored then. So he set his tone in his game defensively really poorly. That's not a standard you can have if you're a Chelsea player. And he's got to really look at himself and his overall performance, because that's the sort of thing that makes you hesitate. If you're not in sync, if you're not defending correctly from the first minute, it sets a pattern for the rest of the game, and that's how he played.
You talked about the standard of defending. What about the standard of goalkeeping?
In the sense of the goalkeeper there, I just think he's a bit unlucky there. That hits a firm part of the body, like a knee or an ankle. It spins away and everyone goes, oh, what a good save, he's blocked it. It's hit a softer part and it's just gone over the line. I can't really say that I wouldn't blame him there. I think he's been very unlucky, and he's looking at himself saying, oh, just my luck at the moment, you know. Yeah. He made a bigger mistake, obviously, in the first half when they got away with one. They should have actually scored, Everton, off his mistake.
A really good goal from Everton's point of view. Yes, we'll look at Chelsea, we'll look at the way they're defending, but Everton on the front foot, noticing a sloppy pass in midfield, driving forward. They had 5 bodies attacking the penalty area in that moment, just in transition. And yes, it was a bit of fortune with the way it came about, but positive play from Everton again this evening.
Well, if that was a good goal, how do you rate this one? Iliman Ndiaye for the third.
Well, we talk about things being back in the game that we haven't seen for a long time. Well, this is direct football. Long ball up, centre forward going for a challenge, winning it, and within that one moment, you've got your best and most talented player in possession of the ball inside the opposition's penalty area, and he did the damage. But Glenn, it's just so different now, isn't it, this defender?
Well, so many teams, we've just put where the start position, they know they're going to hit a long ball, and their start position, Chelsea's back four, is far too deep. You've got to be at the highest point to try and win the header. This is a wonderful finish. But Chelsea, again, defensively, there's no leadership there. They've got to be much higher up the pitch so that they can attempt to win that first flick on. And then afterwards, they don't cover round on the cover. But Ndiaye's finish, look at this from behind. It's a beautiful, beautiful goal. I mean, we talk about top bins. There's no keeper in the world going to save that. That is absolutely world class. But again, Chelsea have got to look at themselves. I think in the modern day game, so many teams play little goal kicks in the 6-yard box. Yeah. The full-backs are up then, pushing up, pressing, and the 2 centre-backs are standing there with one striker going, oh, well, the ball will come up in a minute. Suddenly, there's a long goal kick, as you said, a bit more direct. The full-backs have to come back round and be square with the centre-backs. They should be high. No, they've gone asleep. They've gone, oh, we'll drop back here. And it's something that's gone out of the game in many ways. But Everton, we said before the game, they've got a balance between going direct and playing through the lines as well. They got it absolutely perfect today, Everton, their balance.
So you asked me before the game, what was I looking forward to? And we were talking about Chelsea's defence and the lack of physicality. I would say just get the ball up to Beto against those two centre-halves and he'll cause all sorts of damage. He'll physically dominate them in that area. And it proved to be the case. Yeah. One simple long ball, Chelsea can't defend it properly. I do also think that they got confused about which centre-half should have gone from the ball because of where they were on the pitch. There were so many things that Chelsea got wrong, but Everton got it right. They knew the moments in the game. They used their positivity. They used their strength. And they got the best player inside the penalty area on the ball because of it. And, as I just said, what a terrific finish.
And that's put Everton right in the conversation for the European places. They're just 2 points behind Chelsea. But given what happened to Liverpool earlier on, this was an opportunity wasted for Chelsea. It's like nobody wants to take control of that Champions League race.
It's incredible, isn't it? Even Aston Villa had a bit of a slide. Manchester United, you thought were on this winning run under Michael Carrick, started drawing a few games and things not always going in their favour. So you just felt that the writing was on the wall for Chelsea, especially after the start that Liam Rosenior had at the club, but they're just stumbling at the moment, Glenn.
They are stumbling, but that one there away from home at Villa, 4-1, you know, they've got capabilities of actually performing at a very, very high level, but they can't get that consistency at the moment, particularly on the defensive side of the game. There's a lot of work. Liam Rosenior has changed the back 2 or the back 3 so many times, and it's not for injury. And I always think if you've got a solid centre-backs, 2 centre-backs, or if you're going to play a back 3, if they play consistently together, you become a unit. You become a unit within the team unit, and you become so tight, and you trust each other, and you play off each other, and you get instincts of when he's going to go and defend, when I can cover. That's not happening with Chelsea. They're changing so many times, you don't get that continuity at all, and there's not that feeling. They feel fragile. They look fragile. They certainly started today very fragile as a team defensively.
Yeah, especially in that back line where they need to, play together regularly to build up that understanding. Just in terms of Chelsea and potentially missing out on Champions League, because obviously that's what they are fighting for. How much will that affect Rosenior and his future?
Well, Chelsea expect to finish in the Champions League. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they have changed manager. It's not always easy to go into a new team and get the results that you want, but Chelsea, that's the type of environment Chelsea is. They expect results immediately. There is a lot of pressure on him to finish in them Champions League places. Maybe more so because teams have stumbled around. If teams are winning above you and you'd say, look, it was always going to be tough for them to make that Champions League, there might be a bit of forgiveness, but every other team above them is losing and they're not taking advantage. Every team is just falling over each other to not run away in the Champions League position. No one's really making a huge claim for it at the moment, which is a surprise. So that adds more pressure. So when you look at the end of the season, yeah, I'm sure that'll be taken into account.
I think you're right. I think there's an inconsistency of a lot of them teams going for that position. But I think it's time for Chelsea not to look outward, to look within themselves. They've got to look within themselves and say, these performances are nowhere near good enough. I saw them. I covered the game in Paris Saint-Germain. They were brilliant for 60 minutes and they were going toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in Europe. And then suddenly it fell apart. They just fell apart in the second half. A little bit how they started today. And they have these moments and they haven't got that consistency. They haven't got that experience. They miss Reece James in there today. There was no one in the hub of that team pulling people about, playing well himself, but actually pulling it and saying, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Giving the ball away like you've done. Sanchez, you haven't learned from last week. You can't take that risk. Why you're too easy-ozy? You're the last man on the ball. They're the sort of things you need a player, but they haven't got that experience there for somebody to dig them out whilst they're on the pitch when it's needed. And that's why you're seeing this. They've got to look really within themselves and to improve the performances and then get the results.
Yeah, and I think even more difficult now for them, given how close it is there in that race for the top 5, is the fact that they play the 2 Manchester sides coming up next.
It's not going to be easy, is it? I mean, United are a different United than when they started the season. City are City. They're still going to be fighting for the league, and on their day they can tear you apart. I think it'll be a wonderful game. I've got to say, there's a lot of talent on the pitch when them 2 teams are going to play. But they're tough fixtures.
Yeah, 4 defeats in a row for Chelsea in all competitions now. And just looking at the table and what's to come, plenty of pressure for Liam Rosenior and his side. Let's go back now and hear from the Chelsea manager.
Liam, would it be fair to say Everton just had more intensity, they looked more organised, they had more spirit, had more energy about them tonight?
Yeah, goals give you energy, and at the moment we are gifting goals away. We're gifting goals away to poor. When we started the game edgy, first 10-15 minutes, a few cheap giveaways, and then we play our way into the game. And it seems to be happening too often the last week, where we've given really, really cheap goals away. And what that does gets the crowd, the energy of the opposition, their confidence goes up. And in the end, Everton deserved the victory, and it's something that we need to improve very, very quickly.
You said it's been a constant giving these goals away, and it's down to you, isn't it? It's down to you and your coaching team and your setup to try and put an end to this sloppiness.
Yeah, that's 100%. Responsibility and accountability is with me. We played in a different way. We dropped the team a little bit deeper today, worked on a 4-4-2 shape. I felt we were comfortable in the game. That was the first goal we gave away was the most comfortable we were. And the difference again in both boxes is they were clinical. The third goal from Njai is a fantastic finish. We had chances, especially in the first half. Don't take them in moments. And if you don't do that in games, you're going to end up losing games of football.
Chelsea beaten at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Post-match reaction from Liam Rosenior. We've got to move on now because there is one more game to come here on Premier League Live, and that takes us to Ellen Road for the final.
We spoke about at half-time, Jimmy Garner gets on the half-turn, and they said as well that he's been demanding these passes off him, and he has got this in the bag. That's obviously why he's been called up for England, and it's a great finish. It's not as simple as it looks. When you see in slow-mo, he dinks it over the goalkeeper when he comes out. So fantastic finish from Beto, and there's a lot of love in the room between them, which is nice to see.
Yeah. He said he doesn't feel like he's a hero, but he does feel like he's at home at Everton, which is something that the Everton fans are going to be, we're going to love to hear. But the opportunity that he took it brilliantly, but the opportunity that fell to him was sort of gifted in a way by Chelsea's defence.
Yeah, but look, from Everton point of view, it's a great piece of play. It's a great run. I mean, the Everton fans will appreciate what he did tonight because he worked his socks off, running in behind all the time. He was a handful, a real handful, and he shows a bit of class there with the finish. But from a defence point of view, obviously we spoke about maybe dropping earlier. This one's disappointing. Again, it followed on from the start of the game, didn't it? A sloppy pass there. Win the tackle there, two people. He cannot come away with the ball in that situation, and then you're in trouble. The break. I think for me, for Fofana, he sees the run initially. I'm not quite sure why he pauses. I think in that moment there...
But Sanchez, Gary, as much as you might want to criticise the defence, as much as you might want to say, well, maybe Everton shouldn't have been given the opportunity, there are ways to stop that happening. When the shot does come...
Yes, I think if you go back in that situation, I think when Fofana comes across and he pauses, I'm not quite sure why he pauses. If he tracks the run, maybe he gets himself a little bit tighter, but obviously, you know, the goalkeeper will be hugely disappointed with that. 9 times out of 10, you know, you're used to just gathering them. It goes through his legs.
That summed up Chelsea today, didn't it? We talk about small margins. He decides to pause, gives Beto an extra half a yard to get his shot in. Looks like it should be saved. Before you know it, it's gone straight through Sanchez. And again, it's a disaster from the keeper. It just sums up how their day was, probably from the first minute, really.
Yeah, sloppy, very sloppy.
Is he a concern for you, more broadly, for Chelsea?
Sanchez, I backed him. I've been the one that's actually backed him. I think he's got personality. I think he can play out from the back. I think in times he's a great shot stopper. I'm willing him to stop making these mistakes, you know. And the mistakes obviously are costly at the moment. And he'll be disappointed. He knows, you know, he's a professional goalkeeper. He'll understand that in these moments he has to do better. And at the moment, you know, especially situations like that are costly.
One of the players who's consistently put in brilliant performances for Everton has been Iliman Ndiaye, and he got the third goal. And it was a brilliant individual goal.
Yeah, but we spoke about how it's just one header. You've now got, we spoke about it, you've now got your best central midfielder playing right back. And it almost looks like he doesn't really know how to handle Iliman. You know, he's probably Everton's best dribbler, and he doesn't actually make him do anything. Iliman's totally in control of everything here. OK, he goes and puts it absolutely in the postage stamp. You'll see it now. But if you're a normal right back or a defender, you're taking him down the line, you're putting him on his weaker foot. He's just been allowed to come in. And I'm not going to take anything away from his finish. If you look at it now, I don't think he can get any more top corner. But again, a strange decision to obviously we're trying to chase the game and get back into it. But for me, why you've got him out there, I don't know.
I know you said the official line out of Everton will be, we're looking for Europa League.
My official line as well.
And your official line is that Everton are looking for a Europa League place. But look at that. I mean, if it goes down to 5th place, which at the moment is still likely for Champions League qualification, Everton are 3 points off Liverpool. Their next home game is the Merseyside derby.
I think you've just got to look the whole length. I think obviously you've got Brentford who've got an opportunity to leapfrog again of the year with obviously the goal difference. Don't get me wrong, delighted to be in that position. That's where all Evertonians want to see their team. But I think at the moment it's going to have to be some finish to the season to creep and then stay up there.
And yet it's now looking very difficult for Chelsea. When you look at their kind of recent run of form, they've had 3 games in the last 10 days where they've conceded 3 goals, have lost by 3-goal margin. Obviously 2 of them against Paris Saint-Germain. But is the sloppiness that you've referred to the biggest concern rather even than the scorelines?
I think so, because what I didn't like about this game today is the start. Obviously you set intentions at the start of the game, and I'm sure the team talked before, is start the game well, be sharp, make good decisions, and the start really set the tempo throughout the game. It felt a nervousness from the first 20 minutes. We were talking about it, weren't we, Phil, off air? Just the untidiness in possession, and we're seeing it time and time again in these moments, and it really cost Chelsea today. I mean, they had an opportunity. The opportunity was obviously, first and foremost, when you've had a disappointing result, the next best thing is to play again. You have an opportunity to put it right. Obviously, with the likes of Liverpool losing and Manchester United drawing, it's a big opportunity, and it's an opportunity wasted. Very sloppy today, I thought Chelsea was.
It'll be a massive test the next game. This was a big test, obviously, on the back of what happened. They've probably failed it miserably. So now they need to obviously get back home, obviously recover and stuff, and the next game they've got, if they want to hang on to those Champions League spots, is going to be even bigger than it was today.
Talking of Champions League performances, as I said, two of those games that they've lost by three goals were against Paris Saint-Germain, and so that colours the previous results. When you lose heavily to the European champions, maybe that's one that you can put to the side. But it is 4 consecutive defeats now for Chelsea. They were looking for consistency, not this kind of consistency.
No, of course, and it's been a while, hasn't it, since Chelsea's lost 4 games on the bounce.
Second time since the 90s.
Second time since the 90s?
Yeah.
OK, so not on my watch then.
Not on your watch, definitely not on your watch.
But they need to stop this as soon as possible. And today I felt was an opportunity to do that. Everton was terrific today, by the way. But they need to stop this as soon as possible. And for me, they just need to become harder to play against, if that makes sense, to get chances against. It all seems too easy at the moment, because you look at the possession and you look at the XG, for example, goals to chances, and they're up there in this game. But the final third, the little moments in the final third, that piece of quality was just lacking today as well.
Phil talked about the importance of the next couple of games. Manchester City and then Manchester United are up next for Chelsea. Could they have found possibly a way? I mean, look, it was 88 minutes, so maybe not going to come back and take anything from the game. But could they have had a penalty to reduce the deficit?
I do also think that they got.
I want to say yes, but I don't think there's enough in it for me.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's always difficult. Obviously, probably anywhere else on the pitch is probably given us a foul or whatever. But it's a tough one. And
so is that one that defenders are allowed to commit? Is that what you're both hesitating to say?
I'm sure if it was done in the other box, again, it probably wouldn't be given. Again, I don't think it'd have had too much difference in the game. It is running a risk. I think it is slightly pointless. The ball wasn't going to come in, but that's the difference today in the two teams. One team's desperate to keep a clean sheet and will get one, whereas the other ones, started off and probably don't respect the clean sheet maybe as much, and that's the difference in today's game.
That's what I would say, though. It was a risk. It was a risk from Tarkowski, wasn't it? Especially when he just had a little look, and then it was slightly naughty, very risky, but he got away.